It looks like the Portland Trail Blazers are making some major moves in this offseason. Welcome back, YouTube. It is Saiko here, and I'm back with another video in literally like, what, a day after my last one? Anyways, that's besides the point. Jeremy Grant just got traded to the Portland Trail Blazers for a second round pick swap in tomorrow/today, whenever you're watching this draft, along with a 2025 Milwaukee Bucks pick that the Portland Trail Blazers had. And in other news, apparently OG Anunoby is also on the Portland Trail Blazers to trade for list, and they would end up probably giving up the 7th overall pick or something like that. But I'm going to save that for the latter half of this video. The first half of this video, I want to spend talking about the Jeremy Grant trade. Now, for Jeremy Grant, is he the one piece that Portland's been missing that's going to help elevate Dame to reach that championship status? By all means, no. Is he a really solid role player? Heck yes, but he is not a championship caliber player that's gonna, help elevate Portland to the top of the contenders list. He also makes the Blazers retooling a lot easier than I guess we kind of anticipated as well. To be honest with you, the first thing that I actually thought about when the Blazers traded for Jeremy Grant was the fact that they just literally had Robert Covington like what, half a season ago, and now they have Jeremy Grant, who is kind of like Robert Covington in a way, or at least I know that he's going to be playing the Robert Covington type role. Like, don't get me wrong, Rocco is a really good plug and play guy, but honestly, Jeremy Grant is probably going to perform way better than Rocco did, especially like his half season that he had in Portland last year before he got traded to the Clippers. I've actually been a big fan of Jeremy Grant ever since his OKC days, where he was coming off the bench for Melo, especially in that Jazz series when Melo was kind of a big liability. I really feel like him being in Oklahoma City really helped develop his game, because he was kind of just this like 3-and-D spot up shooter, and then he kind of moved on to Denver where he started putting the ball on the floor a lot more, which helped really showcase a lot more of his abilities that he can do on the basketball court. And then when he went to Detroit, he pretty much went there because number one, he wanted to play for a black coach, and number two, he wanted to kind of be the guy on the team. And man, oh man, that first season in Detroit, he looked like an absolute monster. He was averaging like double the amount of points that he usually was, double the amount of shot attempts. He was literally a most improved candidate. And I feel like I've never seen a most improved candidate from a dude who was like, what, in his like 5th, 6th year at this point? Well, I guess him and Julius Randle were kind of competing for that award, but obviously Julius Randle ended up winning it. And I've never seen such a most improved player go from most improved to least improved in literally one season. Actually, less than a season, because it was in the playoffs, right? Shout out to Julius Randle. I still love you, dude. Although also in the last like 2 seasons that he's actually been in Detroit, he's actually dealt with a lot of injuries. So I feel like he hasn't played more than 70 games since his time in Denver. Well, actually, no, not even his time in Denver, because that was cut short by the bubble. What am I talking about? He hasn't played like a full season in such a long time. Also, I felt like when he was there in Detroit, and because of the fact that his shot selection was really questionable, I felt like it kind of stunted the development of a guy like Saddiq Bey, and I guess later on Marvin Bagley. And I do feel like despite the fact that he was playing like a most improved player, the fact that he was doubling his points, the fact that he was the man in Detroit, I kind of felt like he became that player out of just the necessity of Detroit kind of needing a guy to kind of score the ball. And it also feels like the more that he was doing it, the more I felt like he was kind of changing as a player, and he wasn't the original player that I saw in OKC and Denver that I really liked. But now that he's actually going to be in Portland, I do feel like he's going to kind of revert back to those OKC/Denver days. And I think he's going to be a really solid player, especially as a third option behind Dame and Ant. But I also don't think that he's going to be that player that's actually going to help them contend when the playoffs come. They might be a play-in team, but I don't really know what the ceiling for adding Jeremy Grant is going to be there. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Jeremy Grant is a really solid player. He's actually an all-star caliber player when he was playing in the East, obviously, because he doubled his points and all. But him being back in the West, he's not going to be an all-star anymore. And the only reason I actually bring that up is the fact that I feel like Damian Lillard has not played with an all-star since LaMarcus Aldridge was in Portland. Does he have to play with an all-star? No. Would it be nice? Yes. I just kind of wish that Damian Lillard had another all-star caliber player next to him. I mean, CJ was the closest thing to it, especially that one year when he was averaging like hella points, but he got injured. So I mean, obviously he hasn't played with another all-star since CJ McCollum, or I guess LaMarcus Aldridge, not CJ. What am I talking about? Jeremy Grant has actually played with Russ and Jokic, so he's already kind of in familiar territory being with Dame Lillard and Anthony Simons. So I think it's not going to be a problem for him to take that step back and be that third option. And him being a third option and not the primary option was the big reason why I fell in love with Jeremy Grant's playstyle in the first place. I'm just really hoping that Chauncey Billups can kind of, turn him into that third option and not make him like a second or primary option. I mean, with Dame there, he's not going to be a primary option, obviously, but like, I hope that he can play him into that role, or that he can adjust to being that third option once again, or, you know, not the primary option. By the way, if you guys are actually enjoying the video, please consider hitting the like button, hitting subscribe, and also hitting that bell so you don't miss out on any more content. I'm actually trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year, or at least I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers really soon. So if you guys could actually hit the subscribe button and, you know, just keep watching my videos, I would really appreciate that. But in other news, it was actually reported by Chris Haynes a little earlier today when I'm recording this, that the Blazers are actually interested in shipping their 7th pick in the 2022 draft, which is happening tomorrow as of me recording this, or today when you guys are seeing this, depending on how I upload this. And they're actually, you know, they're interested in trading that pick for OG Anunoby. And I will say, I am actually kind of disappointed in the fact that they are going to potentially trade that 7th overall pick for OG, because I do know that the projected guy at the 7th overall pick is Shaedon Sharpe, who was a guy that Dame Lillard looked at in his workouts and actually was a big fan of, despite the fact that, you know, there's like such a big gap between the two of them in terms of age. But I do also feel like if the Raptors do trade for that 7th pick, I don't know if they would actually take Shaedon Sharpe, because their backcourt is kind of already loaded. They have guys like Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., Malachi Flynn, Svi Mykhailiuk. Like, all those guys are guards. Well, I guess Gary Trent could be a guard forward, but they have all of those guards in the backcourt, and I kind of don't see them taking minutes away. Aside from Svi Mykhailiuk, I think if they do end up drafting Shaedon Sharpe, they would probably take Svi Mykhailiuk's minutes away and give it to Shaedon Sharpe. But I don't know if the Raptors are trying to develop a rookie off the bench, because I know that Scottie has been starting for them. I also have heard a lot of speculation and rumor that OG does not like playing with Scottie Barnes, because every time that Scottie's not there, OG thrives, and every time that OG plays with Scottie, he just doesn't look as good. So maybe a change of scenery is better for OG, and I kind of really hope that none of the rumor stuff about like, oh, I heard that you don't like Scottie comes up when he gets interviewed if he does get traded to the Blazers, because like, I don't think OG is that type of guy. He's really quiet. He's literally Kawhi Leonard 2.0. But like, let's say the Blazers do end up trading that 7th overall pick. They have to obviously throw in a player there along with probably a young asset in order to get OG. And the way that I look at it is they would probably end up trading a guy like Josh Hart and Nas Little in order to kind of make everything work, because number one, Josh Hart's money sort of matches or is close to OG's money, and then Nas Little is this young developing guy that could see the floor and was playing really well when he got minutes in Portland last year. The other option for trades for them that I legitimately forgot about was the fact that the Blazers actually still have Eric Bledsoe, who has like 3.9 million guaranteed on his contract. So if they do end up trading him and that 7th pick for OG Anunoby, the Raptors could probably just shed all the money. Plus, he's only on a 1-year deal, so even if they do keep him, he's off the books after that, and they have money to spend. Either way, if the Blazers do end up getting OG and they have Jeremy Grant there, honestly, these might be the best small forward and power forward that Dame has played with in such a long time. Because, I mean, he's played with like Robert Covington, Al-Farouq Aminu, Mo Harkless. Who else has been there? I really can't remember anyone outside of those guys, but like, I feel like OG and Jeremy Grant are going to be the best 3 and 4s that he's played with probably in a very long time. Are those two pieces enough to get them to a championship type level? No, not at all. They obviously have to add more with Yusuf Nurkic being there, and who knows? I mean, if they could potentially somehow snag Bradley Beal away from the Wizards, then we'd be talking about a completely different thing right now. This video would not be questioning if they could be contenders, because honestly, even with OG and Jeremy Grant, I feel like the Blazers would only end up being a play-in team to a lower seeded playoff team, and probably a 2nd round exit if anything. But that's just obviously my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Look out for my 2022 draft video that's going to be coming out real soon. And yeah, thank you guys again. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications on my videos. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video.